The Bhakta who is serving the Lord, he becomes realized. And inside of him there is no arrogance, no pride. He's devoid of greed and all the negative qualities. Why? Because his mind is always focused on the Lord himself. Such a Bhakta realizes the divine and he sees everything as God himself. He perceives that there is only God in the core of all the heart. And once the Bhakta realizes oneness with him, he sees that there is no difference anywhere and he worships the Supreme Being in all. So how does a saint perceive the Lord? First, he perceives the Supreme Lord in his own being. Because we carry always the Lord inside our heart. And wherever we are, he is there. And that's why when one realizes the divine, there is only place for him and there is only place for humility. Because you realize, who am I? One does everything in relation to the divine. There is this complete surrender. All action are performed by the Bhakta are perfect because it's only for him that he is doing this. So he perceives that there is no difference between him and the divine. He is always engaged in the service to others. He renders service to the divine. Like Jesus was saying, I truly tell you, whatever you do, even to the last of my brothers or sisters, you do it for me. So this means that he is the eternal soul, which is manifested in everything and in everyone. So worldly people see only the difference. They only see the limitation, but in reality there is no differences. So the one who finds the Lord within one's own self sees others like the Supreme Lord. He sees the Lord inside himself and inside the others. One sees no difference between oneself and the others. So then one pierces the duality, seeing the Supreme Lord everywhere and in every being. So this is how perceive the full in Christ, the full in Krishna. They have reached this state of oneness with the divine. They are always seated in the wisdom of God consciousness inside themselves. There is no judgment. There is only the love of God. They perceive that there is only God who is playing different roles, like with the experience of Kakabhushundi. God dwells everywhere. Like the experience of Ramakrishna, who was feeding Mother Kali, like Mirabai, also feeding Krishna, singing for Krishna, having this intimate relationship with him, dancing for him. Why? Because Krishna was always dancing in the heart of Mirabai. So there is another story of a saint called Gwariya Baba. Gwariya Baba one day wanted to feed Krishna. He was a devotee of Krishna. He was always crazy about Krishna and he would go to the temple, and one day he started shouting in the temple, "Has anyone ever seen the Lord eating?" The people were ignoring him, thinking there is kukuk. But he continued shouting, and louder. Finally, a priest, very shy, said, "Well, I have seen him eating." Oh, at that moment, Gwariya Baba got very excited. Gwariya Baba wanted to know what really he saw Krishna eating. Tell me, when did Krishna eat? Alors, at that moment, the whole temple became quiet. And the priest began to tell the story. Some years back, I was serving in the temple. I was cleaning the temple, and then there was a doubt in my mind. You know, like all the priests who are serving every day in the temple, it becomes a routine. And the mind becomes stupid and forgets that he is the Lord and really living there. So he said, due to my mind, I started to doubt and to question. While doing my duty, I started talking to the Lord inwardly and asking him if he really was accepting all the offerings from all these people who were coming to him. So having this doubt in his mind, he finished his duty, and finally it was time for the food offering to the deity in the sanctum sanctorum inside the temple. So he did everything mechanically, set the table in front of the Lord, put the food on the table, he did the prayer for the food offering, and after the food offering, according to the custom, the doors are closed. They are locked for half an hour to let the Lord eat. And so he left, and half an hour later, when the arati was finished, outside of the sanctum sanctorum, he came back, he opened the door, and while doing his other duties, he was looking and taking the food outside. And suddenly he noticed that one of the ladus, of the cakes that was offered, was broken. And at that time he thought, oh, maybe while bringing them here someone made a mistake and this laddu got broken. But suddenly he remembered that he had this thought that he had before in his mind. So where he was thinking, but does the Lord really accept the offering or not? And he asked, Lord, have you really eaten the laddu? And he looked at the laddu and noticed that the laddu was not broken, but there was a bite mark. Somebody had bitten on the laddu. So in this way, Lord Krishna revealed himself and removed the doubt of the priest that he had in his mind. So to show him that he is not only a statue, but Bhagavan himself. And he could see then, by looking at the murti, he could see some crumble of the ladus on his lips. Then he realized, okay. So the priest was completely in blissful state. And as he told this story, everybody was shouting, Banke Bihari Ki Jai! And Gwariya Baba fell down, started screaming and crying, yes, now I know that he is eating. And because he had this close relationship with Krishna. And every day Krishna was visiting him and having discussion with him. So such is the power of the faith. So the next day, Gwariya Baba arrived in the temple, and he had a lot of food in his basket, and on his mind he wanted to feed Krishna. So he was looking at the deity looking at Banke Bihari, absorbed in the love of Krishna, and the time passed. He was standing there since the early morning, and when the time for the Arati arrived, it was 12:30, he didn't want to move from the place where he was in front of the Sanctum Sanctorum. So after putting the traditional food offering inside the place, the priest closed the door and put a lock on it so that nobody can open the door and give a look inside. So Gwariya Baba was waiting, in his mind, that suddenly the door will open and Krishna will come and he will give him some food. But nothing like this happened. But a beautiful little boy, dark in color, appeared and started pulling him at his clothes, saying, Gwariya Baba, I am hungry, give me some food. But Gwariya Baba did not look at this boy. He thought it's a common boy who wants to eat something, but the little boy kept pulling his clothes, saying, please give me something, Baba. And as Gwariya Baba was not paying attention to him, the boy told him, look at me, Baba, look at me. And suddenly when Gwariya Baba looked at the boy, he realized, oh my God, this is Krishna. And for everyone else, he was looking like a small boy. But through the faith of Gwariya Baba, when the priest asked him, but how did you know about the door, that it was closed, suddenly it could be open? Yes, said Gwariya Baba, because, Krishna was going nervous to see that soon the temple will be open and he had to go inside the murti. That's why. So you see, Gwariya Baba, with his unshakable faith, could have this relationship with the divine. And like Jesus said, if you have faith like a seed of a mustard, then you can make mountain to move. And this is how the saints are perceiving the divine. They perceive the divine because the saints are beyond the external reality. They see the truth. They see only God consciousness. And there is not a trace of doubt or any attachment to the outside reality. For them, there is only the divine. Jai Guru.